Printing out photos can often feel like it's something of the past when you can pick up your phone and find any photo that you've ever taken. But this summer, I wanted to have something a little bit different to capture my memories with. Lately, I've been using photo paper that I found at thrift stores and printing out 4 pictures per piece of photo paper just to make the most of each piece of paper. I had an extra journal that I got for Christmas, and since I am not really a journal girly and I don't really write in a journal, I decided I'd use it as a photo journal instead. I started this a few weeks ago with the intention of printing out photos at the end of every week and putting them in here. However, I only ever did it 1 week and I fell a little bit behind, so I'm going to do a little bit of catch up here. If you're wondering what a photo journal is, or at least what I'm using it for, essentially it's a lot like a scrapbook, just a little bit more simplified. Scrapbooks often have so many different papers and stickers and glue and cutting, and they're just really extra, if you will. And this is just a little bit more simple, but essentially about the same thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I do love a good scrapbook. I grew up with my mom scrapbooking all the time, and I have scrapbooked in the past. I just wanted something a little bit more simple that I would be able to keep up with weekly. But that also doesn't mean that my photo journal isn't going to be fun. I do have a lot of stickers kind of stacked up from when I used to do this really excessive happy planner, and I figured this would be such a better way to use the stickers. I don't know if anyone else out there is like this, but I always have this fear of using a really good sticker on something that I will never look at again and essentially waste the sticker. So this is also a perfect way to save your stickers and be able to look at them again as well. I don't know if I'm just weird, but that is how I think about stickers. I've been just using scissors to split my photos apart, but this is also a perfect project that you could use with your Polaroids, or if you have one of those instant printers like the HP Sprocket or anything like that. Also, what's great about those is some of them are already sticky on the back, so you wouldn't have to tape them in like I'm doing. When I did the first page in the journal, I actually just used washi tape to tape the photos in. However, I discovered later on that the washi tape, at least the specific one that I used, wasn't actually strong enough and kept popping up. So I decided for the rest of the book, I would just use regular tape to tape them in and then add washi tape on top for a little bit of color and fun. What makes this a little bit more like a journal versus a scrapbook is that there's a lot of blank space and you can pretty much write in whatever you want. I like to start my pages with some kind of title, whether it is just the date or like what we did that day, and then I'll do like some smaller writing. Sometimes I will write who's in the photos or things that we did that day or just things that you were thinking about. Pretty much anything that you would journal about, you can write it in with the pictures, and it's kind of fun that way because you can write down any memories that you may have had, but you can also have the photos to look at while you're reading it. I think the hardest part about this for me is trying to arrange the photos in a way that I like. Usually it takes me a couple tries and I move them around the page several times before I find a spot that I like them. I like to try and visualize also what I'm going to write and where I'm going to write it, because it will also depend on how the photos lay out. However, I have noticed that sometimes, even though I do plan out the page in my head as I'm doing it, I end up with some blank spaces because I just don't really have anything specific that I want to write on the page. So I do kind of have to get creative and do some doodles or think of some extra things that I want to write in there, because the blank space does bother me. If you're making one of these at home and you don't care if there's blank space, then that is totally fine. But sometimes the blank spaces kind of get to me and I just really feel the need to fill them out somehow. But all in all, I honestly find this just a really relaxing activity to do. It's just kind of mindless, but also it gives you a chance to be creative and look at some old pictures. And when you have a bunch of pages done, it's also just really fun to go back and look through. And I'm sure the more that I do this, the more the pages will evolve and kind of change, and like the style of arranging will change and everything, which I think will be kind of interesting to look at the further I get along in this book. I also really hope to include any other little things that I may acquire on my little adventures. For example, like those paper bracelets that you get at the fair, or movie tickets, concert tickets, or any kind of little paper souvenir that you might want to add in here with the picture pictures, I think would be really, really fun. The only downside of doing that is that the book does get very lumpy and kind of starts to bulge, but I actually personally really like it when it starts doing that, so I don't mind it. But as I'm sure you already know, you can literally make this however you want to, as simple or as extra as you want to, because you're just making it for you, and it's something that you get to look back on, so you get to make it however you want. So I took a little bit of a break for a while because it was extremely hot outside, and I finished the rest of it inside. Obviously I didn't finish the whole book, but I finished up to like the current date that I wanted to print pictures off and put them in. And so far I'm really happy with it. I really like how this one looks. I feel like it just looks nice with a little bit of writing in there. Sometimes it's like you don't really know what to write, so you just kind of leave it blank, but I'm really excited to see how this turns out by the end of the summer. It's probably gonna be like really thick and not even gonna close. Tyler's mowing the lawn right now, so it's quite loud. But I'm honestly really excited about it. My mom used to scrapbook a lot, and this is like very similar, just like a bit more of like a simple way of doing it, essentially. I'm excited to look back on this at the end of the summer and see everything that I did, people that I saw, and kind of just like write down all the different little adventures that I get up to. Let me know if you'd like to see me fill out more pages of this. Maybe I could make some shorts or something when I work on it. I think that's gonna be it for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!